What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in Hungary for round 4. We've got a few drivers on track. That was Gailey and Jeffy Boy, and as you can see, it's torrential rain. Mad Right has followed. Jeffy Boy, Gailey, and then the Cadillac as well. Some of the drivers aren't sharing that information, so I'll just use the other thing. So, Fanfinus in the Cadillac in P2, and then Gailey, Jeffy Boy, River Rocks, Bjorn, Casper, Cars, XD Storms, and Maxibot. There you got Verstappen on his debut. Hackmore, Pulse Luxury, Samir, or Sammer, whatever. Deadly with the fastest lap of 132.6. The race winner from last week, and then Reese in the Alpine is going to come through to the line, and Reese will go P7. So Reese doing really well. Maxibot, Verstappen, Hackmore, Pulse Luxury, CJ Summit, Epic OJ, B-Right, Edward is on an outlap, Jabba, Bramble on his debut, and Kieran as well in the Alpine. But Deadly with a brilliant lap, and that was Gailey. No, it was Bramble up to P3, the Mercedes driver. What's going on, Mad Riot? That was Cars, I think. Yeah, it was. The Haas driver coming to the line to go P6. Hopefully the audio's okay for you guys. It looks a little bit blurry on my stream here, which I don't understand why. Just bear with me. It's 720p, and I don't know why. It should be 1080 at the minimum. Interesting. So, Cars, River Rocks, Pulse Luxury down in P18, CJ, Kieran. Deadly goes even quicker. That's the thing with these wet compound tyres. They can just do multiple laps. So, Gailey in P2. And we know how good Gailey is in the rain. He's done this previously where he showed up when it was raining. And he is very, very good. Bramble going even quicker in the Mercedes. So, Bramble going fastest, the 132.0. Then Cars up to P3. So, a fantastic lap from the Dutchman. Let's go, Pele back. Let me see if I'm collecting the data right. Bear with me, guys. Oh, God. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm so tired. So a few of the drivers taking intermediates, a few taking wets. CJ up to P3, Pulse Luxury now the fastest driver on track. Jabber has left the session. So Jabber is in for Verstappen, Casper, Kieran, but it is Pulse Luxury in the rain at the moment. There's the fastest driver on track. That was on the intermediate tyre. And then Hackmore in the Cadillac in P3. There's a couple of drivers that came to the line. Pulse Luxury going even quicker in the Audi. I really hope we don't have any issues like last time. But there's no formation lap on anyway. Fanford is a 130.7. So as that dry line starts to form, you can see the dry line starting to form. The more and more the drivers do of laps, that dry line just starts to form. And there goes Cars, a 130.6 with just under 7 minutes of qualifying to go. And these drivers are really starting to put on a show now. Maxi Block, and that is Hackmore, the Albanian, now the fastest driver on track. So Casper, the man from Sweden, up to P2. And Pulse Luxury again going quicker, 130.0. Oh, and look at that, Casper just drifting round. Vanfiness, Maximot, B right is up to P8, Edward up to P7, the Aston Martin driver. All it takes is that one decent lap in the rain. Max here, B right. Epic OJ's on an outlap, he's competing for the championship. Deadly in the Aston Martin. And that is Cars that's gone even quicker. And Deadly, look at that. He's trying to keep it on track. 1.6 up. So it still won't be enough for Deadly to compete with pole position. But he'll definitely improve his position. And then he can go again. And I think the drivers will be waiting. They'll try and get out as late as possible. XD Storms, I think, moving up. Deadly up to P2. So that was XD Storms up to P11. So Gailey, River Rocks is on a lap. He's 6/10 of a second up. What about Kieran in the Alpine? He's just coming through that middle sector at turn 8. River Rocks will be first in the Red Bull down in towards turn 12. So around turn 14 for the Red Bull driver of River Rocks, 2 of the checkered flag, and it's P7. He will get another run at that. It is Cars on his way out of the pit lane. Oh, and look at that. Deadly running wide. And he is nearly 4 attempts up again. I don't know if he'll get to the line or maybe go into the pit lane. Hackmore 129.1. So again, it is faster and faster. Jeffy Boy, Sama, Gailey in the McLaren, CJ in the Ferrari, Bjorn McQueen. CJ not finished many races in Tier 1, and with it raining, it does not look hopeful. Deadly going quicker. Bjorn in the Red Bull. Kieran in the Alpine is off the track. Needs to be careful with Ghost not being on. Epic OJ for Verstappen in the Williams. Bramble in the Mercedes is now on an outlap, and that was Hackmore. up to P2 and CJ up to P4. B Wright is now up to P3. Provisional second row from the 4-time world champion. Epic OJ and Jeffy come to the line, and everybody is now finding that dry line. Here comes Fanfinus to start his final run. Jabber currently in P22, but not for long. As he comes out of turn 14 down to the line, he will get another go at this. He's up to P6 for now. Bramble getting ready for that final run. Here comes Bjorn McQueen in the Red Bull around turn 13. And Hackmore a 128.7. 2 minutes of qualifying to go. Bjorn is up to P2. And that is Verstappen. Kieran is out, retired from the session in the pit lane. So he is not going to improve his position. And Gale into P6. So I'm unsure why Kieran's retired there. Edward on an out lap. Reese Dye on an out lap. Then we've got Maxi Block all coming to the line for the final time. B Rat is retired in P8, so he's retired in the pit lane as well. Fanfinus in the Cadillac. This is his final run. I'm not sure he'll go again. Oh, I think he will go again. But Fanfinus will go fastest, a 128.2. River Rocks finding that little bit of improvement here at the Hungaroring. And he goes up to P9, but he'll be looking for a little bit more. And XD Storm's invalidated it, but it's only an out lap. Here comes Bramble in the Mercedes. And he is going to finish his lap early. So around turn 14 and then up towards the line. And Bramble in the Mercedes will go P3. Will he get another run at it? Hackmore is into the pit lane. And Verstappen, the Williams driver, to the line goes P8. Then the Ferrari will be behind that. But no, it's the Audi of Pulse Luxury. Just reaches the line in time for one more run. I think Sam will also reach the line. Then we've got the McLaren. That's Gale that's invalidated it. And then CJ 7 tenths up. 7 seconds to go. Gale is up to P2. And then the other Aston Martin of Edward. The checkered flag is out. The drivers can do no more. Maxi Block goes P6. Jeffy Boy momentarily takes the lead. But it's Epic OJ 127.7. Is taking provisional pole. The drivers are leaving it very late. Fanfinus at 127.5. has taken provisional pole. All of the drivers on their final runs. Here comes River Rocks in the Red Bull. 4 attempts up on his lap time. Out of turn 14, down towards the line. River Rocks up to P11. Cars 1.6 up, keeps it valid. And Cars will take provisional pole at 127.3. That line is getting drier and drier. Here comes XD Storms. He goes P15. And that was the Mercedes of Jabber up to P9. And Bramble up to P4 on his debut. And then Casper in the McLaren will take P3 behind Fanfinus and Cars, the 2 Dutch drivers. We've got a few more to come yet. The Ferrari and the Audi. Bjorn in P15. That is not where he wanted to be. And then Sam and Gale to the line. Gale goes P7. CJ and Reese. Reese in the Alpine. Can he take pole? He cannot. It's only P6. CJ. And that is it. What a dramatic end to qualifying here in Tier 1. It did not go the way everybody thought. And Cars will take pole position by 2 tenths of a second. Here in Hungary, Fanfinus will take P2. Wow, that is not what everybody was expecting. So, Fanfonius in P2, then Deadlit Casper Epic OJ. In P6 is Reese. Then Bramble, P7, Gayle, Pulse Luxury, Jeffy, Verstappen, CJ, Edward. And then Jabba, Maxi Block. Sorry, I need to write that down. Oh, I think that's everybody. Oh no, I didn't get the last 3 out of 4. Did B-Rat qualify to P21? Wow. So here we go. This is it. Here in Hungary for round 4. And it's lights out and away we go. Cars, Fanfitness, Deadly, Casper Epic OJ. As we all shoot down towards turn 1, Pulse Luxury is through on Gayle. And this is going to be the most eventful corner of the race. Into turn 1, there's a few drivers late on the brakes, but everybody is through nicely. No incidents or issues at the start of this race. It's what we want to see. There is now a yellow flag, and that is Sam that has pulled over in the Audi. Maxi Block is through on Verstappen. That is Fanfitness and Cars fighting for the lead. Jeffy Boy is through on Gayle. And Cars, your pole sitter, is down to P3 as Fanfitness and Deadly are through and into the lead. Gayle is up to P8 in the McLaren Ferrari, and there goes CJ 3000 in the other Scuderia. Pulse Luxury down to P11. What a start to this race. Maxi Block is through on Jabba, but for how long? The Mercedes driver just pulling back. And there's a little bit of argy-bargy in the middle of this field. Drivers need to be careful. Look at this, be right through the grid from P15. And that is Bramble. Bramble and Casper are into the wall. A huge collision. The McLaren and the Mercedes have had a coming together. He's got no front wing end plates. And Bramble has damage. And that is not good between the pair of them. So, yellow flag waving. I can't see any more. Going on down in towards turn 1. Wow, that was not the start we were expecting. Sorry guys, who was in the Williams for Stafford? Oh, he started in P11. Who was the other Williams? XD Storms. Oh no. I don't understand what's going on here. So, that is Sam into the pit lane. 22 drivers on grid here in Tier 1. Sam is definitely sandbagging. Well, there he goes. What an absolute waste of a seat. And that will be the final time Sam races here. He's just retired on track and left. So, I'm not messing around with drivers that just want to mess around and not be here. So, he got DSQ'd actually. Fanfitness Cadillac in the lead. Then Deadly in P2. I haven't got time for it. We've got too many drivers wanting to race. So River Rocks and XD Storms. Yeah, just a waste of time. Really is a waste of time. Yeah, just parked up in the pit lane. Like, if you want to go and piss around and play open lobby racing, go and do it somewhere else, mate. Don't come to Formula 7 and do it. I'm worried about other drivers as well doing the same thing. The safety car is out. Safety car is out. We've only had 2 safety cars in 14 races in Hungary, but we should have known that T1 would have brought one out. So safety car is out. The race is neutralised. So Bramble will get back into the pack. Still driving very slow though. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's locked under regulations here. I want to know what brought the safety car out though. So Kieran is into the pit lane. Famfon is leading to Deadly. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently nobody has hot lap. Kieran and Bramble are trying to catch up, but I don't know what's going on. A few issues in the rain. So the safety car is out. Remember, what we do know is that the safety car has not been out many times here in Hungary. And we looked at the data before for the circuit and we realised that over 14 races that we've done Hungary, we've only ever had 2 safety cars, which was a really interesting stat. So we've had 2 safety cars and 3 VSCs in the 14 races. Well, that has not stopped there being a safety car here in Tier 1. So Famfon leads to Deadly, to Cars. Is the safety car going to be in at the end of this lap? We shall see. Who knows? Who knows? Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. So we can see the battery of the drivers. So Sam, the only DNF so far in this race. The drivers getting ready. It will be Fanfness that leads the restart as they all come round. As they all try and group back up. Deadly, your race winner from last week, is going to chase down Fanfness. They do get a very good restart. And look at Deadly. He's all over the back of Fanfness. Then he's going to move to the left and take the outside line in towards turn 1. He goes later on the brakes. That dry line starting to form wheel to wheel. Go the English and Dutchman. And Deadly does get his nose ahead as we go down in towards turn 2. And the Aston Martin driver will now have the inside line. And Deadly is now just about ahead. Fanfness will come back. Not a thing to separate them. Casper and Verstappen at the back are swapping places. And literally nothing between them for the majority of this lap. Through turn 4. The Cadillac of Fanfness is through. And now here comes Cars. The second Dutchman. But Deadly back down to P2. What racing here at the Hungaroring. Wow. So Kieran's still 2 seconds behind the pack. Bramble is back in. And I don't think he's got any damage. No, he's not. He's on the back of Casper in the McLaren. Then you've got Verstappen, Riverrocks, XD Storms and Hackmore. Jeffy Boy is up to P6 in that Ferrari. Then you've got Maxi Block in at P10. Oh, and he goes late on the brakes. He moves to the right-hand side. Yellow flag still out, but all the drivers, all 21 drivers in the rain here in Hungary, still in this race. That is Jabba. That is just being overtaken by Bjorn McQueen, who's now up to P11. He's making progress. Edward in the Aston Martin. So Kieran is just not finding the pace to compete at the moment. So XRT, Kieran 3 seconds behind everybody else. There goes Jeffy up the inside of Reese. Reese tried to turn in and now here comes the second Ferrari. Gale in the papaya. Hackmore and B. Wright, these two have been friends and foes over the seasons. Now down in P14 and P15. And Hackmore trying to get the better exit as he slivers out of there. Kieran is losing around a second every sector. He is so much slower, XRT Kieran, than everybody else at the moment on track. I'm just wondering if he's just not enjoying the rain. It doesn't look like he is. So Fanfness leading to Deadly to Cars. It's incredible to see Fanfness still at the very top. Considering how long he's been here, he's finding that sort of form once again. Deadly Cars, Epic OJ in P4, Jeffy and then Reese. Merkel will be liking the fact that Reese is down in P6, especially considering he's on vacation and he will be back after Bahrain. Riverrocks on XD Storms, and then he'll go to the inside, the Red Bull driver, and then he'll go later on the brakes and he'll get the overtake done surely. The Red Bull of Riverrocks is through on XD Storms, and that is it. XRT Kieran into the pit lane and out again. And yeah, he just was well out of his depth here. XRT Kieran, just wasn't the right race for him. Nowhere near the pack. A real shame. Verstappen on the back of XD Storms, the two Williams drivers in P17 and P18. Then with Casper and Bramble, the McLaren and the Mercedes. But the pack locked within a second of every single driver in front. They are so close between the lot of them. So through turn 11, 8 laps down in the rain. Thank you so much, Jose, for the follow. Really appreciate it, mate. I'll tell you what, if you had DRS now, it would be incredible with the gaps. It is so close on track. And Fanfness has now been given 0.8 of a second to the driver in front. This is getting very interesting. I do wonder how pit stops are going to play a part in this race. You can see the tyre wear on the car, 15 and 21% on the left. So that's Verstappen through on XD Storms and Casper and Bramble. And that is silly. That's the second time that's happened between them two. And Casper and Bramble are really having a go at each other here. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. And now XD Storm's been overtaken by his teammate Verstappen. And Bramble up the inside again of Casper. And the Mercedes, yeah, and into the wall they go. Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? And that might be the second XRT driver out of this race. So Hackmore and B Right, these two know each other very well. Yeah, just silly racing. I don't understand it. It's tier 1. You're supposed to be the best of the best. You're supposed to set the example. You're supposed to, you know, be the pinnacle of F1 esports. It's just embarrassing. So, fan first, Deadly Cars, 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 different constructors in the top 6. Reese, who is leading the championship. Yeah, don't know, Mad Riot, I don't know. The yellow flag is waving. Yeah, not really sure what's going on there. Yeah, there we go. Second XRT driver to retire in the pit lane. Just a real waste of time, to be honest with you. Edward just running wide, and then he'll come back at Hackmore. Side by side go the Cadillac and the Aston Martin driver. I mean, yeah, Casper, I don't really know. You both looked as bad as each other, I'm going to be completely honest with you. But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Cars is through on Epic OJ. Can the Racing Bull driver make any more progress? Bjorn McQueen through on Maxi Block. And the Red Bull now up to P10. And then you've got XD Storms and Bramble going at it. What is Bramble? Why is he racing like that? Why is he racing like a knob? What is he doing? What is he actually doing? Absolutely embarrassing. So 11 laps down of 35. I mean, yeah, clean's a strong word there, Casper, but yeah. Fanfinus, Deadly in Cars, then Epic OJ, Jeffy, Reese. I mean, I get it because there's a few drivers on here that don't normally race, like the 2 XRT drivers, so they've not really got anything to sort of. And there's a few like Bramble, his first race and all that, so they've not really got any commitments to the league or any respect for the league, so they're not really bothered, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas in the full-time drivers, they're bothered. They know that there's a standard that they have to keep, but if they're not full-time, they're just not bothered, are they? They'll just leave after the race and that's it. So Jabba, B Right and Edward swapping places. River Rocks will try and go around the outside of Edward. And they do touch slightly. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, honestly. Anyway. So F7R to the better exit. Yeah, Casper, I just don't know what you were doing once you had damage. It just looked all a bit very dodgy, to be honest. F7R, but anyway, I'm not bothered about it. You just do your thing, mate. So 3 tenths is the gap from Edward to F7R. Epic OJ's gone for the undercut. So Epic OJ's going for the early stop. So he's going for the undercut. The tyres have still got a bit of life in them. So he is literally doing this to try and get in front of the drivers. And that is Edward into the pit lane as well. So he's going for the undercut. Fanfurness, Deadly and Cars. I do wonder how much he can make up on the drivers by pitting now. And will he come out into clean air? The problem is he's going to come out next to Bramble, just behind Bramble. That is not where you want to be. You don't want to be anywhere near him on track after what we've seen so far. So Epic OJ is going to be catching him soon. And then I do fear for his life. Deadly on the back of Fanfurness. 3 tenths separate the top 2. So look at this, Cars in the Haas, chasing down Deadly in the Aston Martin. That was a driver that just got a penalty. That was Edward. Sorry, it was a warning. 3-second time penalty it was. So you can see the gap to the driver, 2 tenths. Look how close Cars is, and nobody goes into the pit lane. So nobody's chancing it. Jeffy stays out. So does Reese. This is interesting that nobody else is trying this. CJ is having a very, very good race here in Hungary, and I'm not surprised to see him try the undercut. Slides in and just about gets that car to a halt. Jabba and Bramble into the pit lane. And so the 2 Mercedes double stacking. Bramble now with a new front wing. Fanfurness, Deadly, Cars. 1, 2, 3. After 14 laps of racing. The leader, 44% on them tyres. It's a great aerial view of the racing. So Jeffy and Reese are now in the pit lane. I want to see where Epic OJ comes out in comparison here, because he's the one on the undercut. What's going on, Harvey? How we doing, mate? So Epic OJ is through. So Epic OJ is around a second. No, he's around 2.5 seconds clear. The undercut is massive from Epic OJ. He's absolutely flying. And that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting to see how much of a difference it made. And it made a big one. So that is brilliant stuff. CJ, 3-1 XD Storms. No hanging around from the Ferrari driver. And CJ is on a redemption drive. Now back on board with the leaders. Remember, these have not yet pitted, and they are leaving it for as long as possible. And they stay out for another lap. I do wonder if Gale will take the opportunity to go in. No, he doesn't. Pulse Luxury, Bjorn, Hackmore, and Maxi Block all stay out, and B Right as well. I'm surprised not to see B Right try something here. River Rocks is trying though. We know that the undercut is working for these drivers. We've seen Epic OJ do it and end up 3 seconds clear of Jeffy Boy. And Epic OJ setting fastest laps. I've got a feeling that when all is said and done here, that Epic OJ is going to be your race leader by quite a bit. So this could be the perfect strategy from Epic OJ. You've got Deadly and Famfness at the front. Bramble setting the fastest lap. It's funny what racing with nobody around you can do. There you go for Bramble. It's funny because he's obviously got the pace to compete as well, but his racing etiquette today has been awful. So the Cadillac leads to the Aston Martin, to the Haas. Gale and the McLaren losing a considerable amount of time to the 3 drivers in front. And Bjorn in the Red Bull is making progress, so is Hackmore. Maxi Block, B Right, as they slip and slide. The eye of your mind. And Famfness, Deadly, Cars. And Epic OJ is through on Verstappen, who's into the pit lane. The Williams driver on his debut, having a good race. This is what you want to see from debutants. Verstappen showing exactly how to do it. Just plodding along, keeping himself to himself. Making the right calls, racing cleanly. So into turn 6 and 7. And still the drivers have not pitted. And I'm just wondering what the tyres are like for these guys now. 60% on that back left. Oh! And I tell you what, Deadly nearly risked it all and nearly ended up into the barrier. Wow, he held on to that really well. But you don't want too many more of them. He is halfway through the race. Surely he needs to get onto them fresh intermediates now before he pushes it too far. Famfness is going to stay out. Deadly's going to stay out, and so is Cars again. They are not looking to go into that pit lane anytime soon. Daniel, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Epic OJ is nearly back within the pack, you know. Yes, Gale's 8 seconds behind the front 3, but Epic OJ has worked his way through the grid really nicely. That is River Rocks and XD Storms. River Rocks is through, and now he has Edward in front of him. These two know each other already. Down in towards turn 2. Verstappen looking very quick. I do wonder if XD Storms might get out of the way for his teammate here. And to the right side he goes, and no, XD Storms is not going to let his teammate on fresh tyres through. And here we go, Verstappen will make his own line, and he'll go racing his teammate and XD Storms. Nothing he can do about that. Bramble is starting to catch back up after setting a couple of fastest laps. And look at that, the front three have stayed out for another lap. Now, Bjorn and Hackmore, no, it was Pulse Luxury in the Audi in P5 with Bjorn just behind him. And we know that we don't get many overtakes here in Hungary. But that is not stopping these drivers from going racing. Here comes Epic OJ on B right. The Racing Bull, the Haas is going to try and squeeze him to the outside. And I think Epic OJ is probably going to go for that lunge up the inside. He is. And Epic OJ and the Racing Bull is through on the 4-time Tier 1 World Champion. And Epic OJ is making some serious gains here. Hackmore and Pulse Luxury. That is the Audi driver that is through as he goes wheel banging with Bjorn McQueen, who backs out. And now here comes Hackmore. And the Belgian driver is through turn 4. Wow, that was a scary moment for the Cadillac. Nearly drifting on back to the US of A. There goes Bramble through on XD Storms. He's now down to P19. Epic OJ is through on Maxibot. There is no messing around. The Racing Bull driver letting his teammate through. They are working together. And Epic OJ is absolutely flying through the grid. And the drivers that do pit will have to make all of the progress that Epic OJ has made. I think the front three are just waiting because they don't want to start trying to climb through the grid. They're waiting for the drivers behind to potentially pit. And yes, they've stayed out again. 19 laps on the intermediates. I don't know what they're waiting for here, because they're going to have to go on to another set of intermediates, surely. So does it matter if you go, you know, now, or what's the point in doing 20 laps on one inters and only 15 on the other? You may as well do 17 and 18 or something like that. So, but I'm not here to question what a Tier 1 driver is doing on their strategy. They are the best of the best. They know what they're doing. And Jeffy Boy in the Ferrari on B right in the Haas. Down in towards turn 2. The Ferrari goes wide to leave the space on the inside. And they do just avoid coming together as B right gets the better exit. And now he'll come right back at Jeffy Boy. Looking for a way on. He nearly takes him out. B right smashes into the back of Jeffy Boy, and that nearly ended in tears. Verstappen is through on Edward, the Aston Martin driver, with the Williams. Oh, and they do touch. Oh, and Edward nearly there, having an incident. Bjorn is through on Hackmore. So now it's getting a little bit scrappy at the halfway point. And Jeffy Boy and Maxi Block are going at it. Maxi and Jeffy, they do touch. That is a yellow flag. That is Hackmore going around the outside. And that is a driver. I think it might be XD Storms in the Williams, and he's off the track. And he's got a puncher. XD Storms has a puncher. My goodness me. Yeah, he might need a reset here. He might need a reset. I think he's out. It's not letting me change the camera angle of the car. I think he might need to reset. It's not even letting me look at a different angle for him, where usually it lets me do that. It's not letting me do that. Oh, there we go. It's letting me... Yeah, no, it is. XD Storms is out. Oh my God, the leaders are coming. The leaders are coming. They need a yellow flag. They need to watch out. There's an Alpine in the middle of the track. My God, there we go. It's gone. Wow, that was close. XD Storms is out. He got a puncher and into the wall he went. That was scary. They don't last long. I can't believe that drivers are still out like Fanfurness and Deadly and cars on them intermediates are still going. 76% on them rears. They are really pushing the limits of these tyres, and I'm not really sure why they're pushing the limits of the tyres. Is there any reason for it? Epic OJ is so much quicker than the drivers in front, but it's so hard to overtake here. I think the drivers in front are just waiting for more and more drivers behind to pit so they don't have to do all this. And there goes Bjorn, and then look at this. And that is beautiful. Epic OJ with an epic move. No messing from the Racing Bull driver. And that is easily done. Bjorn, oh, nearly touches the rear of Epic OJ. He's so much quicker, Epic. And still the drivers stay out for another lap. I'm not sure what we are doing here. We're waiting for dry tyres or something. I can't understand the logic. Bjorn McQueen being swallowed up. Oh, he's got a puncher. Bjorn McQueen has now got a puncher. The Red Bull driver, the drivers are pushing the limits of these intermediate tyres here in Hungary. And look at that. This is quite incredible stuff. Another driver has a puncher here in the Hungaroring, and that might just be it for Bjorn McQueen. Is there anything else he can do? And Epic OJ is on a charge. And I've got a feeling there'll be a few more drivers with punchers come the end of this lap. They're absolutely risking it, and there's just no need to risk it. What are we doing? Epic OJ is now absolutely hunting down the front three. I do wonder if he will get to the end of the race here, Epic OJ. And I do wonder if Bjorn McQueen will cause a safety car trying to get back to the pit lane. They are staying out. They are staying out. This is unbelievable. What? I don't understand the logic here. I just don't understand it. Are people waiting for the rain to stop? Yeah, look at the track. Look at the track. Oh, there's a car. There's a Haas. There's a Cadillac. Sorry, that is Hackmore. Gay Lane Pulse Luxury. I think they're going to go on to dry compound tyres. That is what they were waiting for. Driver picking up a 10-second time penalty. That was Hackmore. Yeah, I think drivers were waiting for the mediums. Yeah, look at this. Medium compound tyres. That's what they were waiting for. That is why the drivers have stayed out. And that is Bjorn McQueen trying to get out of the way. Oh, it's red flag. It's a red flag here in Hungary. Oh my God. It's a red flag. Wow, wow, wow. That means the drivers can now change their car. That means who didn't pit? This will massively benefit the drivers that did not pit. My goodness me, the drivers can now pick their fresh tyres. And we are going to see a race restart here in Hungary. Fan for this Deadly Cars Epic OJ. Here we go for the second time, and it's lights out, and away we go. And it is Fanfurness, Deadly on the hard compound tyres. Here comes Cars. There's a driver with a stop and go time penalty. And that was a collision with River Rocks down in towards turn one. It's absolute bedlam. It is carnage into turn one. Look at how there's a driver off the track and into the grass. That is CJ, your race leader. Reese has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Cars, Deadly, Jeffy. Hackmore, B rise into P9. Bramble is at the back of the grid. CJ is now your race leader. And the drivers are really struggling in these conditions. You've got to remember it's still quite wet out there. And Maxi and Hackmore are going at it. B-Right is filtering through. Bjorn going absolutely ham into the corner. And that is a Cadillac round. The McLaren's round. Oh my God. Oh my God. Gayle and Maxi are into the wall. It's a yellow flag. That might be a safety car. I don't understand what we are seeing. CJ is leading on intermediate tyres. He chose to stay on intermediates after the red flag, and that might be the best thing he's ever decided to do. VSC. Yeah, he's into the pit lane now for mediums. The track's not dry. You're right, Mr. East. The track is just not dry. So it's catching the drivers out. And there's a lot of drivers with damage. Verstappen is at the back. Fanfinis is into the pit lane as well. So 9.5 laps to go. And it's Cars that now leads to Deadly to Jeffy. I don't think I've ever seen a race quite like this. I have done thousands, and I'm not even over exaggerating, thousands of races. Gale gets a drive-through time penalty for speeding under the safety car, for speeding under the VSC. I've never quite seen a race like this. Yellow flag again. I can't see anything on track at the moment. Yeah, it was just a brief one. So Cars is 1.7 clear. 3 second time penalty for Maxi Block. And that is River Rocks and Edward going at it. And that is Bramble through on CJ. CJ's off the track. I don't understand what we're seeing. I really don't. So you can see the tyre strategy of the drivers. Epic OJ. Oh, and he's getting a little bit feisty with the Ferrari of Jeffy at the moment. This is unbelievable. So you can see the tyres. That is CJ into the pit lane. CJ had a really good race as well. It's such a shame to have ended like this. Fanfinis is out. There we go. Fanfinis is out of this race. CJ speeds into the pit lane. Yeah, Edward is through on B right. Is B right starting to struggle? He doesn't have damage. He's on the hard compounds. Wow. I'm sort of taken back by this race. I don't really know what I've seen, to be quite honest with you. That is Gale in the McLaren. And that is Epic OJ on Jeffy, and he wants the podium place back off the Ferrari. He will have the inside. Now he'll go later on the brakes with the medium compound tyre, and they do slightly touch. And can he get the better exit? He can, but the Ferrari will deploy the battery, and then he'll go up the inside exactly like that. Oh, and it's a bit of a lunge by Jeffy. Verstappen is out in the pit lane, and that has caused Epic OJ round. And that was a bit naughty from Jeffy, I'm not going to lie. Verstappen is out, and that is crucial. Epic OJ, who's looking to try and win a championship for the first time, was looking very strong. CJ up the inside of Hackmore. Epic OJ down to P12. He'll be absolutely fuming about this, Epic OJ. I don't think there was any reason to lunge back up the inside from Jeffy's point of view. And if you do lunge up the inside, you need to make sure that you're going to make the corner. And Gale's round, he's touched the grass again. It is just, I've never quite seen anything quite like this. Cars is 2.5 seconds in the lead. The Haas driver, his teammate is in P8. This is massive points for the Haas team if it stays like this. Oh, Reese is in the wall. Oh my God. Reese, the championship leader, is in the wall. Bramble is back up to, he's clawed his way back up to P10 after going on terrorist mode for the first part of this race. That is Hackmore. CJ into the wall. Every time I go on board with somebody, they're either spinning, hitting, gliding, drifting. This is absolute carnage. Yeah, Jeffy's on for a podium at the moment, prior to Stewart's involvement, of course. So Bramble will be looking for a way through on River Rocks. Hopefully he's patient this time round instead of just demanding the position. I hope. It is literally wreckfest. I can't believe there's only been 16 Fs, if I'm being completely honest. But there's still 6 laps to go. So Reese is being chased down by B Right. Remember, he does have front wing damage. And that is Jabba in the Mercedes. Being shoved out the way by River Rocks. And then Brambles, his Mercedes teammate, will go through. And that is Maxi Block without a front wing. Maxi Block, the Belgian driver, has no front wing. CJ's back in the pit lane and purposely crashing into the wall. Oh, Gayle. He just can't get the car to stop. It's crazy. It is unbelievable. This Deadly sets the fastest lap of the race, and Deadly is actually starting to catch cars now. Yeah, Harvey, I have no words for this race, to be quite honest. So out of turn 1 down towards turn 2. Bramble on the back of River Rocks. Bramble's into the wall. And the Audi is also missing an M plate. He must have collided as well. Pulls Luxury. Epic OJ might be able to pick up a couple of places. And the Mercedes. And he's going to go. He's going to struggle to make the corners now, is Bramble, with that wing damage. Yeah, Harvey. Yeah, it's been one of them, mate. Oh, and that was the Audi Pulse Luxury. And look at Epic OG, he's trying to find a way to filter through. But he's not being made easy here. Even with the 2 drivers with damage in front of them, it is being very hard, being made very hard for Epic OJ. As we are on lap 32. I'm not Nathan inviting me back. I didn't invite nobody back. Oh, and the Audi. Oh, God. Pulse Luxury and Bramble have a coming together, which results in Epic OJ being hit. And he'll go late, and then Epic OJ sends him off skating, and now he's finally through. But Epic OJ has been held up a very long time by these drivers. B-Right trying to get a move on Reese. At the moment, it looks like B-Right would finish P4 in this race, which is unbelievable considering where he was. And Hackmore is into the pit lane as well, very late on to get that front wing. And what I will say is it's not all the drivers' faults. You've also got to take into account that the track and the surface have been very, very tough here. But the driving standards have been torrid. Absolutely horrible. Jeffy Boy wants a P2 and he might well get it. B Wright is falling way back off Reese. He must have made a mistake because Reese has damage and B Wright doesn't. That's a yellow flag again. That's a Mercedes of Jabba. Does he have a puncher? Is that another driver with a puncher? You know when a driver has a puncher or whatever. I don't know what it is in this race, but it doesn't let me change camera angles as much as I want it to. No, he doesn't have a puncher. He was just spinning. And that is Bramble and River Rocks. Bramble being let go by River Rocks. Remember, they do have damage. Yeah, Bramble has damage. And that is Jabba on Maxi. Oh. I just have no more words. I just have no more words in this race. We are on the penultimate lap. So, Jabba is through on Maxi. Down into turn 6 and 7. Late on the brakes. Maxi is through on the Mercedes of Jabba. It looks like Cars will win this race unless he makes a mistake. There goes Epic OJ on River Rocks. And the River Rocks comes back through. I think that's just frustration showing now from Epic OJ with these drivers with damage in front just holding on. But they are defending, just hopefully within the rules. So we are about to go on to the final lap. Yeah, I'm sort of... Harvey used to do comms. Yellow flag. Oh, and there's two more drivers. That is Maxi and Jabba into the wall. Yeah, Jesus, what is going on? We're on the final lap. Here we go for the final time. But it's been a great drive from Cars. He's done what he needed to do. I'll just to think I've missed the match play darts final for this. Well, I've not missed it all yet, but anyway. So Cars, that is the racing bull just moving out of the way, and Cars is going to come through, and the man from the Netherlands in the Haas is going to come to the line, and Cars will take the victory in Hungary. Deadly wins last week, takes P2 this week. Jeffy Boy on the podium, the Ferrari driver. Bjorn and Reese will come through. B Wright was on for a P4. I'm not sure if he's going to get it. Is he going to get it? He does. B Wright takes P4. Massive, massive points for the Haas team. Obviously, all of these results are prior to the stewards' involvement, of course. And I'm sure there will be a lot of stewards' involvement in these collisions. Jesus. Hurry up, Jabba. Oh, there you go. Because we're waiting for you, Jabba. Epic OJ is now left, so it's now DNF'd him. You do not understand the nightmare that it causes now. That. Oh God. I'm not even putting him back into the normal position. I can't bother. It just takes too much effort to do it. And I've put out about 5 announcements to say don't leave the lobby until the race finishes. There we go. Brilliant race. There you have it. On the top step is cars. So there we have it. Driver of the day is B right from 21st on the grid to 4th. Jeffy Boy could have had driver of the day as well. I gave it him last week though. But really good race. So cars, Deadly, Jeffy, B right, Bjorn, Fanfinus. Oh no, it's not Bjorn and Fanfinus, it's Bjorn and Bramble. Then River Rocks, Pulse Luxury. I need to put all these in 2 seconds. Then Reese, Edward, Hackmore, Jabba, Epic OJ, Maxibot, Gale, CJ, Verstappen, then Fanfinus. And then XD Storms. Yeah, perfect. There we have it. Right, there's your race results. I'm going to shoot off, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. It was a great battle, some great racing. Not what we wanted to see, but what can you do? But yeah, thank you all so much. Verstappen has left the server as well now. Yeah, no problem. It is what it is. But people just come in, race once, and then leave. It's just annoying. We put in so much effort to make our tiers as good as they are, and people just disrespect them like that. Right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh God.